In this problem, John is going to buy school supplies. Notebooks cost $5 each, and the binders cost $7 each. He needs to buy 8 of each of them. Use a distributive property to write a numerical expression that represents the story. I always think drawing a picture would help. So if I'm going to draw a picture, I'm going to say that I know that notebooks, every time I buy a notebook, it's going to cost me $5 each. And every time I buy a binder, it's going to be $7. So right away, I know that this is multiplication because I'm buying more than one of something at the same cost. So I'm making arrays to help me see that it's multiplication. So notebooks are $5, binders are $7. And how much do I need to buy of each? Well, I need to buy 8. So now from here, this looks a lot like what we've been working with our distributive property. So now I could either write it in expanded form, and I could say 8 times 5 plus 8 times 7, and that's one expression I could write. Or I could put it in factored form, knowing that there's an 8 in both of these expressions, and write 8 times 5 plus 7. Both of these expressions would represent the visual that I just drew. Another one of the problems you had is which expressions are equivalent to 16 plus 20. So if you're stuck on this, the first thing I would do is, again, think about drawing a picture because it looks like we have a lot of expressions that are in expanded or factored form. So I know that one of my boxes needs to be 16, and the other one of my boxes needs to be worth 20. So then when I go ahead and test each of these, I can tell if they work. So the first one is saying 4 times 4 plus 5. So I know that if I wrote that as expanded form, that would be 4 times 4 plus 4 times 5. And sure enough, well, 4 times 4 gives me 16, yep, and 4 times 5 gives me 20, yep. So I know right away that this first one will match the expression. Now I'm going to go and check the next one. 4 plus 4, that would give me 8, times 4 plus 5, which would give me 9. That's not what that's doing here. I'm not multiplying these two boxes by each other. I'm adding them. So right away, I know this one's not going to work. Now I'm going to check the next one. 4 times 4, well, 4 times 4 would give me that 16. It's a 4 by 4 array, plus 4 times 5. Well, that's actually just taking my first one and putting it into expanded form, so I know number 3 would work. So then I get to number 4. And again, since it's in factored form, it might actually be easier for me to change it into expanded form first to see if it will work. So I'm going to try 2 times 8 plus, 2 times 10. And sure enough, if I think about it, in that first box, 2 times 8 would give me 16. And that second box is 2 times 10 would give me 20, and then I'm adding them together. So here, they decided that they would make this array a 2 by 8, and then 10. That also works. It's just a different number that they factored out. So number 4 would work. Now I'm going to check number 5, 2 times 36. Well, it looks like they added these two together first and then multiplied it by 2, but that would give me 2 of these arrays, so that definitely won't work. And now I'm going to check number 6, 2 times 8 plus 2 times 10, and take a look. It's exactly what we did when we expanded out our factored form, so 6 would also work. So this last problem is fill in the blanks to make the equation true. So if you look, I can tell by the way this one's set up. This one is in factored form. And the way this is set up with the addition sign right here, and then the two multiplication expressions, I can tell that this is an expanded form. So in factored form, we know that the factor 8 was taken out of both equations. Sorry, expressions. I keep getting that messed up today. So if the 8 is here, I know the 8 also needs to be here. Now this one says 8 times 2. That 2 came from this factored form. So now I know the other part of that box would have needed to be a 4, which is here. Another way to think about it is by drawing the array that you need. So if I wanted to draw this original expression that they gave me, they're saying it's an 8, and the bottom would be 4 and 2. And if you look, this 8 by 4 is right here, and then the 8 by 2 is right there. So the visual can also help you. On the bottom part, it's 12 plus blank equals 3 times 4 plus 6. So when I have to think about what to do, I'm trying to figure out where those numbers came from. Again, a visual could help you here as well if you're really stuck. Because I know when they solved the factored form, they were able to get 12 in one box, and then we don't know what was in this other box. However, we do know that this 3 is one side of an array, and since the 4 plus 6 is in parentheses, the 4 and the 6 are going to go around the bottom. So now the 3 by 4, sure enough, gives me that 12 that's already in the problem. So now for the other box, the 3 by 6 will give me an answer of 18. So once again, drawing the visual or doing the math out really helped to make me figure out what I was missing.